The Endless Golf Podcast, brought to you by Toyota.
Welcome into another edition of the Endless Golf Podcast presented by Toyota. Joining me here at the beautiful Baywood Greens Golf Course in Long Neck, Delaware, is Director of Golf Tony Hollerback. And Tony, it's great to have you back on the podcast.
Thanks so much, Bobby. Great to see you again.
You know, I want to talk a little bit about junior golf today because I know there's a lot of parents out there that have young kids that want to get their kids into the game of golf. And how do you go about that? And I think that's a big challenge for parents, is to really introduce them to any sport. And golf in particular can be a little intimidating. And I know you've got two boys that play golf. And kind of how did you introduce your boys to the game of golf?
So, luckily with the PGA Junior, it's really how it all started, to be honest. Got a couple of their buddies. I also coach baseball, so I got some of their buddies to come play. So it started by that way getting a bunch of their friends to play, and then they wanted to play. And it also helps that I'm a golf pro, that they wanted to join me on the golf course at night.
Yeah, so for you it was a little bit easier, but I think one of the things you said was a key there is getting their friends involved. You know, one of the great things about playing golf is you get to spend, a few hours with some buddies or whatever. And when you're young, if you get your friends to play golf in really any sport, that's kind of what you're attracted to.
Yeah, it sure is. I recruited a lot of kids from the Little League that played baseball with them. So then we got about 8 to 10 through the Little League, and then they all came and started liking it. Some of them stuck, then some of the other ones chose to play baseball through high school.
And one of your boys loves baseball and is very good at golf, but really didn't take to golf. But your other boy obviously got into it, and he's done extremely well. When you started out teaching them, was it hard for you as a parent to teach them being a golf professional?
It was a little challenging in the beginning. My older son is lefty like me. I kind of wish he would have played more golf, to be honest, but he loves baseball. So I think he'll play golf now more that he's graduated high school. He'll come back to it. He plays with me now on certain nights, which he didn't do before. And my little guy, he just fell in love with it as soon as he started playing. Fell in love with watching Jordan Spieth, and then we were off and running from there.
There you go. Like many of us growing up, depending on what sports you played, you would always find that person who you were drawn to as an athlete. When my year, I was a Brooks Robinson fan. I loved the Orioles, so I played baseball a lot. I loved football. Johnny Unitas was my hero. And in golf, it's no different now. If you have a golfer back in the day, whether it was Nicklaus or Palmer or whatever, these young kids see a guy like Jordan Spieth, and that draws them to the game. And I think a lot of guys don't understand how important they are as athletes. And I wouldn't even call them role models, but just a way to, somebody to look up to introduce them to a new game.
Absolutely. Luckily, I was able to take Jake to a lot of PGA Tour events, and Jordan Spieth was always great. Took pictures with him, got a lot of pictures at our house with him slapping five and stuff like that. And that's all it really took.
That certainly helps to pique your interest. But once your child is interested, whether it's a boy or a girl, and they want to learn the game of golf, the one thing you have to do to be decent at this game is practice. And some kids embrace the practice, and some kids don't.
Yeah. So we usually have a practice during the week, and we had a practice on the weekend. We didn't overdo it with the practices. That was with the team golf, and then. Luckily for me, Jake liked to practice on his own at the house. Our superintendent was great. They put a flag out in the backyard, and he would chip and putt all the time in the backyard. And it takes a lot of, by yourself time with this game to get better.
It really does, and I think that's a great point. And you know the Tiger Woods story. His dad used to take him to the golf course all the time, but it was a situation where Tiger was really the one that made his dad say, hey, I want to go practice. Hey, I want to do that. And you can't make someone love something that they don't love. So if they love it, they're gonna find a way to make it happen for them as a kid. So I think giving them the opportunities to practice or play as much as they want is great, but not pushing them too far.
Yeah, absolutely. That was, as Jake was getting older, that was my major concern, is burnout, and didn't want to make him not want to play this game because he is talented. So it was one of those fine lines that I watched, like how much is golf, and then I kept him playing baseball. He played basketball through high school. Now he stopped and just really dedicated to golf now. I kind of wish he would have played basketball last year. I kind of like to have that one back, but he did win a state championship playing golf.
And
so.
that's pretty good for sure.
Yeah.
You know, it's interesting because your other boy who doesn't play golf as you know, as a competitively, I should say, he still likes golf and he plays baseball. But again, as a parent, it's important not to push him towards something that he's not interested in. And you mentioned this a few moments ago. He may indeed find his way back to golf as well.
Yeah, he's been playing a lot more golf this summer, where he's asked me to go out at night with him, and it was shocking, and he said he wants to go out and go. I'm going, no matter what.
That's right. And I know you don't play a lot of golf. You're here at the pro shop a lot of times here at Baywood Greens, and I want to say congratulations on 25 terrific years here. It's been an amazing journey for you as director of golf and golf professional and assistant golf professional all the way back 25 years ago.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's been a great ride. Love still coming to work each day and keep building.
I tell you what, we'll take a quick break. We'll come back and talk a little bit more about junior golf with Tony Hollerback here at Baywood Greens, so stay with us.
And now a word from our sponsor.
Toyota is moving toward a more sustainable future by giving you the freedom to choose from a full lineup of hybrids, plug-in hybrids, regular gas, and 100% electric vehicles, including stylish cars like the Camry and Corolla, as well as efficient and spacious SUVs like the RAV4 and Grand Highlander, all backed by Toyota's reputation for reliability. Visit buyatoyota.com for a great deal on an efficient Toyota today. Toyota, let's go places.
And welcome back to the Endless Golf Podcast presented by Toyota. Staying with me is Director of Golf here at Baywood Greens, Tony Hollerback. And Tony, we talked about the journey for your two boys when they were younger in junior golf and practicing and playing different sports. And we talked about the importance of playing different sports as well. I know you as a former basketball player really think that's important for kids to play other sports, not just golf.
Absolutely. You want to be with the teams, get the little difference. Golf is a solo sport, so you want to have the team camaraderie, everything like that. I'm just so thrilled that they were able to play different sports, basketball and baseball, and so AJ actually played football, which it was good.
It's a good thing. I always thought that was a good thing. I know some parents aren't crazy about when their kids play football, but you talk about a team atmosphere. I don't think it gets any better than on the football field, that's for sure.
Absolutely. His buddies that are great to come over to the house. It's just a fantastic group of kids, and I'm thrilled he was a part of it.
And AJ, as we mentioned, Roy doesn't play golf competitively. He still plays a lot, loves baseball, played football. But Jake, your other son, just won a state championship here in the state of Delaware as a sophomore, which is a pretty amazing feat. The one thing about golf, too, is you have to have talent to be good at this game. So there's some natural ability in that, but there's also a lot of dedication as well.
There is, when he was coming up and through our junior program, he was always our most talented player out of Baywood. His hands and short game, it's
you just
amazing.
can't teach that, right?
You cannot teach it. He could get up and down from everywhere, and it separates him from the others, and now he's getting bigger, stronger, hits it farther. It's just pretty great to watch.
It's amazing too, as young players develop and you watch them play competitively, the mental part of the game becomes so important as they get into tournaments and into competitions as well.
It sure does. Now he's playing against the best kids in the country at different events. He could go shoot a great score, but some kids just shoot a lot better and you don't make the cut.
Absolutely. It's a very humbling game, and you got to take it in stride, and you're going to have great days and you're going to have bad days, and that's one of the great things about golf. It can certainly teach you some life lessons, and you really got to stick with it. As you go out there and play against better competition, it's going to either, like they say, iron sharpens iron, or it can make you fall away from the game as well.
It sure does. It shows you your weaknesses too, where you have to improve. Like I said, Jake has a great short game, but you go against these guys from different states, and their short game is just as good, if not better. And if you want to get as great as they are, you got to continue to work on it.
Absolutely. And I know right here at Baywood Greens, you have a wonderful junior program. You do a lot with juniors. You actually started that program, and now it's kind of grown into even more here.
Yeah, back in the beginning, it was trying to get as many kids as we could to do it. Now I've kind of delegated over to Corey Phillips. He's taken the ball and done a great job. I mean, we have some of the best juniors in the area, and now we're known as a junior program, so we get a lot of parents that want to bring the kids here because of what we started and the championships we've won.
You know, it was great to see Corey this morning. I talked to him briefly on the putting green, and Corey knew that I had some putting issues the last couple of years, and I got a little yippy with the putter, and he grabbed me, and we worked on some drills. I'm kind of over it now, but I'm always looking for information and things that I can go to in case I fall back on that a little bit. I'm still not the most confident guy over 3 footers, but I've certainly got a lot better. But it's great to see him, and he really does a great job teaching the game of golf.
He does a fantastic job. I love working with him. He makes a great team. I love to see what they're doing with the kids, how much they've improved it. And then it's allowed me to start a new league with the older high school kids. So they've got the junior kids, and now I'm mostly just worried about high school kids and helping kids play in college.
Well, that's awesome, Tony. And if you had one piece of advice to give parents if they were looking to get their boy or girl into golf, what would you say to them?
That's a tough one. I would have to say, make sure they're having fun. Make it fun, because if they're not having fun, they're not going to last in this game.
I think that's a great piece of advice. And I've talked over the years, and we had the passion for sports growing up. And you know what? If it wasn't fun, we wouldn't have done it. That's number one. It's got to be fun.
Absolutely, and you got to listen to them. Like I will say with Jake earlier on, he wasn't a fan of the traveling, so he didn't want to drive to Philadelphia or spots like that. So I listened to him, and we didn't do it, so he didn't burn out. So you got to pay attention.
And look, he ends up winning the state championship, so it's pretty amazing. All right, Tony Hollerback, Director of Golf right here at Baywood Greens. Great spending some time with you on the podcast this morning. We'll see you next time right here on the Endless Golf Podcast. So long, everybody.
The Endless Golf Podcast has been brought to you by Toyota.